Hello everyone, my name is mandilynn. I am the author of the young adult novel Essence and historical fantasy novel I Am Mercy, and today we're going to be talking about the pros and cons to self-publishing. Now, I feel like self-publishing has a little bit of a bad reputation to it, so that in itself is one of the cons, but I am going to kind of break down the good points and the bad points that I personally have discovered when it comes to self-publishing. So pro number one, which is like the biggest pro and like the only pro to self-publishing, but it's also like a very big like deal, is control. So in self-publishing, you have control over the cover and the whole design aspect, as in like bookmarks and how you want to present yourself. You have control over the brand you and the brand of your book and all of that, and you have control over the marketing. You're never gonna have to do something you don't want to do. You have control over what events you do. You are your own boss, and that is like the biggest thing you can ever ask for. And there's absolutely no contracts or anything tying you down. If you feel like one day you don't feel like being an author anymore, you can just, that's it. I'm just gonna take my book off of Amazon and all that, and you're done. You don't have to wait out a year for your contract to end. Now, that's about the only pro I have, but as you can see, it's a big pro, and as I go through the cons, you'll kind of see why. So one of the biggest cons is the fact that when it comes to self-publishing, you have to pay everything out of your own pocket. This includes things like editor, ordering the books, getting the cover designed, doing all the marketing and all that. You have to pay for every single cent. If you have a traditional publisher, obviously, you as their author are their investment, so they're paying for everything. You don't necessarily have to invest in yourself because you signed a pretty contract with hopefully in advance, and it's on them to make sure that it's a success. Another con is that as a self-publisher, you don't always have that insider access to get into bookstores and signings and events and all these cool things that all these lovely traditional published authors have. And sadly, you aren't really taken seriously sometimes. I mean, like I said earlier, it has a bad reputation. Once someone sees one bad self-published book, they think they're all like that, and that makes us people who actually try really hard with our books, it makes us look like bad guys. And another con is that the marketing is all on you. If you don't do anything, your book is gonna fail. Like, not fail as in it's badly written, fail as in you aren't gonna sell anything because nobody knows your book exists. This also means if the book fails, it's your fault, not your publisher's fault. I've heard a few things here and there that people who get traditionally published think it's gonna be all on the publisher. The publisher's gonna do all the marketing and all that, and they're gonna make you a huge success. That is a myth, okay? When you get traditionally published, you have to do even more work because they know that they're investing their money in you. You are gonna have to work your ass off. You're gonna have to market the heck out of everything. Even though you're not spending money on like ads or anything, your publisher is gonna want you to create a blog and all this and do these constant posts to create a fan base, because you gotta keep traffic moving. You always have to create new content, even if it's not a book, and your publisher is gonna be looking for that. People think that just because they're traditionally published, it's gonna be this huge success. That's not always the case. Anyways, going back to self-publishing, all I'm trying to say is that it's all on you when it's self-publishing. That means if your book doesn't sell well or whatever, you can't blame your publisher. You can kind of just sit back and blame yourself. And that can also be the case with traditional publishing. So it's a con in both senses. And this last piece can be a pro and a con, and that's finding an editor. A pro is the fact that you can choose your editor. You aren't assigned to one when you're self-publishing, and you have like this whole world of editors to choose from if you can afford to pay for it. A con is the fact that you have to pay for it. When you're traditionally published, obviously your publisher is signing the paycheck for the editor. When you're self-published, you're signing that paycheck, and it's usually a pretty big one. And that is basically all I have to say on pros and cons. I just want to end this video saying that I hope this wasn't discouraging, and remember, no matter if you're self-published or traditionally published, either way, neither of them guarantee you success. It's all about how much work you put into it and how much heart you put into it. If you have anything else to add on the subject, please comment down below. Otherwise, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe.